DeMar DeRozan was ranked number 76 on Forbes' highest paid athletes list, with a total of $24.8 million in yearly earnings. Now, one would wonder how this millionaire spends his money, which is why we have brought this video to you guys. So, we've compiled a list of things in which DeMar spends tons of money on. Let's jump in. First up, his earnings. In August of 2021, DeMar DeRozan signed a 3-year, $82 million contract with the Chicago Bulls. Besides his professional game, DeMar also endorses numerous brands. He has a long-term contract with Nike, and he has also featured the first signature shoe line of the Kobe Bryant brand. In the meantime, he also endorses Spalding, Gatorade, and Klipsch speakers and headphones. So now that we've gathered basic information about how he gets his revenue, let's move on to how he spent all that money he has made. First up, he bought a mansion from Michael Jordan's ex-wife? Let's start this list off by a more recent purchase of his, a mansion which was owned by none other than Michael Jordan's ex-wife. Yup, you heard that right. The mansion is situated in River North, and he bought it for just $4.5 million back in October 2021. Right after he signed his new contract, it was sold by Juanita Vanoy Jordan, Michael Jordan's ex-wife. The house comes with a 5-stop elevator, recreation and billiard room, library, 3-car heated garage, and 4 fireplaces. Next up, he took 70-something people to Disneyland. For this one though, at first glance, this might not seem like an expensive feat, but DeRozan himself has said that even without all the toys, food, and extra stuff that goes along with such a trip, especially when there are kids involved, he had to pay a hefty tab by the end of it. If you really think much of it though, you realize that it really was an expensive choice of his to do that. Let's just calculate how much it would have cost him. It all mainly just depends on the season. One offer says that you and up to 9 other guests can enjoy a customizable VIP tour at a rate from $425 to $700 per hour, according to Disneyland.com, with 7-hour minimum tour durations. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to mention, you also need to pay separate theme park admission for each guest, which is a requirement, by the way. So with all those things considered, there were at least 7 groups of 10 people. According to the above-mentioned hourly rates, it brings the price into tens of thousands of dollars. And we haven't even mentioned the plane tickets, accommodations, hotels, food, and all the extra stuff DeRozan inevitably had to take care of. After realizing all these things, it just makes sense that he doesn't want to do it ever again. I wouldn't either. There's absolutely no doubt that DeMar had to pay a hefty tab, but for a millionaire like him, who, unlike some of his peers, doesn't allow himself to go on a spending spree, doing it to make his close ones happy was surely worth it. Next up, his Mercedes-Benz G-Class. DeMar DeRozan is one of the top shooting guards in the NBA. He is absolutely killing it right now with Chicago Bulls, and he's up there in the MVP rankings so far. But before he went to the Bulls, he was on the Raptors, and his great play for Toronto throughout the years earned DeRozan a couple of seasons with some huge pay. And of course, the money gained him some pretty wonderful purchases. So it also caused him to start collecting cars. Man, that sounds so weird to say out loud. I only have one, and that sometimes feels like a lot. Anyways, back to DeMar. DeMar's car collection was formed as his earnings went up with the Mercedes-Benz G63 and the Mercedes-Benz G-Class, my dream car by the way. He repurchased this Benz G63 in May 2014 from Prompter Sports. Another car of his that I want to mention is his Ford F-150 Raptor. Get it? Raptor, like Raptors? Anyways, however, it really wasn't bought by him, more like gifted. It was given to him during an endorsement commercial with Ford as a nod to his former Raptors team at the time. There you go. Man, this car is just too good. It is definitely one of my favorites, but the G-Class, still my favorite. Next up, his Tarzana home. Let's just talk about his first ever house, which is located in Tarzana. Back in September of 2014, DeMar bought a $3.752 million estate in Tarzana, California, which stands at 6,609 square feet. This mansion features 7 bathrooms, 8 bedrooms, a dual staircase, a media room, and a kitchen with a double island. The interior depicts distressed wood floors and high ceilings. Likewise, it also includes a patio and fireplace. Moving on, the living room leads the door to the backyard, office, maid's room, and the laundry room. The 1995 built Mediterranean McMansion has a 4-car garage as well, by far the most valuable aspect of the property. However, in this rare double lot, our Mr. DeRozan has himself almost 1 flat acre in Tarzana with his own private basketball court. Oh man, I would love to have one of those. Next up, his house in the Hidden Hills. Moving on to another house of DeMar's, we get to this property which is hidden from the view of the world, as we can guess by the name of the town. You guys must be wondering why so many celebrities love this place so much. Maybe because of its privacy? Well, the way it all started was back in 2015, when their Ponzi scheme was still in full swing, and Woodbridge coughed up the cash for 5 vacant lots in Hidden Hills. 3 are located in this particular Swansky-Ashley Ridge section of town, and the other 2 are hidden away on one of the city's newest streets. The house we shall discuss is one of those 2, and it was only completed a couple years ago, back in early 2018. However, the house next door, also owned by Woodbridge, is even larger than the other house. This property recently was sold for $14.95 million, all in cash. Though the transaction is still pending bankruptcy court approval, we hear there are no objections and the deal is all but done. Ponzi schemes they may be, but Woodbridge knows how to make a legitimate buck too. Records show they paid just $4 million for the lot 3 years ago, and we all know that they didn't spend $11 million building that house. Speaking of the house, no one really knows much about it, but there are barely any pictures of it online, but we do know that it is supposedly over 10,000 square feet in a, quote, contemporary traditional, end quote, style. The property has a pool and is surrounded by the newly planted trees for privacy purposes. There is, or soon will be, a half-sized basketball court in the backyard, and that court will definitely be getting used a lot, because although the buyer's identity is concealed behind an LLC, we know that it is owned by none other than the young man named DeMar DeRozan. And finally, his help and charity. Another way that DeRozan likes to spend his money is by charity. His activeness can not only be seen in games, but in his real life too. To elaborate, he has been downright straight and open for charity help and donations. Not to mention, he actively speaks up for mental health issues and also has a partnership with a literacy program in Toronto. As one of his recent works, he assisted a donation of $20,000 to a COVID-19 relief. He also joined the Instagram Live of Dr. Kensa Gunter, a famous clinical sports psychologist. Right then, they discussed issues relating to the novel coronavirus and started on how to handle life at home quarantine. Besides that, he's also a partner of Lupus Canada and often raises awareness and educates Canadians on this disease. Well guys, that's going to wrap up today's video on Triple Double Nation. What did you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Do you guys think DeRozan will win MVP this year? Well, we'll see. I don't think he will, but he's got a chance. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel for more fire videos just like this one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.